Here is your AI briefing for June 20th, 2026, with 12 stories. Story 1. Encryption, spyware, and now mythos. History shows why cyber export control doesn't work. Using 30 years of evidence, the piece argues cyber export controls fail as encryption and spyware adapt quickly, and questions whether Anthropic's mythos model can be meaningfully constrained. The article links repeated failures to the speed at which companies and users shift to new products, outpacing licensing and enforcement. It argues Mythos would face the same evasion problems if buyers can train, share, or modify models abroad. Export controls keep replaying the same losing sequel. Software adapts, spies and vendors move faster, and regulators get to pretend a model license can stop bytes. Story 2. AlphaFold pioneer who won a Nobel Prize alongside Demis Hassabis leaves Google DeepMind for Anthropic. John Jumper, an AlphaFold pioneer at Google DeepMind for nearly a decade, is joining Anthropic, bringing Nobel-winning expertise from the Hassabis team and potentially reshaping model development priorities at a new lab. Jumper co-led the breakthrough that made protein structure prediction practical, giving Anthropic direct access to a scientist with deep experience building frontier AI systems. His move intensifies competition for top research talent between major model labs. Anthropic gains a Nobel-backed AlphaFold veteran. Google DeepMind loses a flagship scientist. And the real prize is model talent, not another press release reshuffle. Story 3. Is AI ruining our skills? Early results are in, and they're not good. Early Nature reporting and 94 Hacker News comments suggest AI assistance is already eroding measurable student problem-solving and writing accuracy, triggering calls for tighter assessment from educators in 2026. The findings point to lower performance on tasks that require independent reasoning and precise language production, not just faster completion. Educators are treating the early evidence as a warning that classroom assessments and take-home work need redesigning. If students need tighter assessment because AI already dents problem-solving and writing, the big winner is proctoring vendors, and the loser is actual learning. Story 4. Is the US government's Anthropic ban accidentally helping the brand? After the US ordered Anthropic to pull Fable 5 and Mythos 5 over national security concerns tied to a guardrail bypass jailbreak found by Amazon researchers, open letter critics warned safety risk while noting the same jailbreaks exist across other models. The order forced Anthropic to remove the two models from government-facing use after researchers said a jailbreak could disable safety guardrails. The controversy has amplified attention on Anthropic, while critics argue other model families still face similar weaknesses. The ban hands Anthropic free martyrdom marketing, while the actual losers are researchers and users stuck with the same jailbreak problem wearing a government label. Story 5. Robots don't read the internet. Researchers argue physical robots must continually collect real-world grasp and failure data, since they can't rely on web-scale pre-training, making sample efficiency and on-hardware learning central. Because a robot's body and sensors shape every successful grasp, the training signal comes from direct trial, error, and recovery in the physical world. That pushes labs to prioritize robots that can learn efficiently on-device instead of waiting for large offline datasets. Robots don't get a web-scale handout, so every manufacturer now pays in broken grippers, wasted hours, and dirty real-world data instead of cheap text tokens. Story 6. Billionaire Ambani wants AI in every call, app, and home. Reliance is deploying AI across telecom and consumer touchpoints for 500 million plus users, aiming to embed it in every call, app, and home through tighter network and service integration. Reliance is tying AI to telecom infrastructure and consumer services so models can operate inside ordinary voice and app interactions at massive scale. The push gives the company a way to upsell digital services while deepening customer lock-in across its ecosystem. Ambani's AI Everywhere pitch wins Reliance control over 500 million users' attention, while consumers lose another layer of choice inside their calls, apps, and homes. Story 7. SumSub becomes first verification platform to enable AI agents to build compliance setup. SumSub launched an MCP integration with AI agent skills that lets teams upload AML policies and generate a ready-to-run SumSub verification workflow in minutes using Claude or ChatGPT, automating compliance setup and ongoing task management. The integration exposes compliance setup through Anthropic and OpenAI assistants, so non-technical teams can assemble verification flows without manually wiring policy logic. It also extends the platform into ongoing operational tasks, not just one-time onboarding. The SumSub is selling prompt-shaped compliance, but the real winner is anyone tired of manual setup, while the loser is the lawyer who now audits Claude-generated AML workflows. Story 8. The US says ASML's top chip tool may be in China. ASML says it isn't. The US alleges ASML's flagship lithography tool could reach China, but ASML says its commercial incentives and export license limits block the deal, tightening scrutiny in current review cycles. The machine at issue is ASML's most advanced extreme ultraviolet lithography system, which is controlled by strict Dutch export licensing and is not currently approved for Chinese customers. Any approval dispute would affect global chipmakers that depend on ASML's sole source technology and could further strain US-Dutch coordination on semiconductor controls. ASML's incentive is obvious. A busted export license would be far costlier than one Chinese sale, while Washington gets another excuse to tighten review cycles. Story 9. Iridio redefines transparency with AI-powered connected TV channel identification. Iridio's proprietary AI now labels connected TV channels with up to 94% accuracy, mapping billions of bid signals to 200-plus verified channels and 88 genres, while filtering low-value bids to cut fraud and improve placement quality. The system evaluates bid metadata against verified channel references instead of relying on coarse supply labels. That gives buyers a tighter path to premium inventory and reduces spend on placements that cannot be authenticated. 94% accuracy sounds tidy, but the real product is ad filtering that lets Iridio pick winners, burying smaller bidders behind a glossy fraud reduction pitch. Story 10. Adobe unveils major expansion of Creative Agent across Firefly and Creative Cloud apps, including Photoshop and Premiere. Adobe is rolling its Firefly Creative Agent into Photoshop, Premiere, Illustrator, InDesign, and Frame.io to orchestrate multi-step AI-assisted workflows across ideation, creation, and production. The agent can chain actions across multiple Adobe apps, moving work from concept generation into edit and delivery steps in one flow. Creative teams get a shared automation layer that reduces app switching and manual handoffs. Adobe's agent is the classic productivity cake. Creators get fewer clicks, while Adobe locks the whole workflow deeper into its subscription mode. Story 11. Google's AI thinks SCP horror monsters are real, and that's the actual horror story. Google's AI overviews surfaced SCP real horror creature claims without disclaimers, highlighting large-scale, overconfident factual errors that erode trust in AI search outputs. The faulty answers appeared in Google's own AI overviews, which can show up directly in search results and present fabricated entities as authoritative. That makes the error especially dangerous because users may never click through to verify the claim. Google turned a horror wiki into a false authority, proving the real monster is AI search confidently inventing facts with no disclaimer. Story 12. Anne Hathaway has a warning for anyone using ChatGPT to get hired. Anne Hathaway's recruiting flagged identical ChatGPT thank you emails from shortlisted candidates, harming their chances, because repetitive wording made the submissions look mass-generated. The problem surfaced during a hiring process where multiple finalists submitted nearly indistinguishable notes, making the messages appear automated rather than thoughtful. Recruiters treated the similarity as a signal of low effort and authenticity, which can weaken a candidate's standing even when qualifications are strong. ChatGPT didn't boost candidates. It turned their thank you notes into identical red flags, and the people who lose are applicants who outsourced sincerity. That is the briefing for today.